Did anyone else catch that rape face of Madara the moment he found out that Hashirama's chakra was around? It was like, I was thinking to myself, calm down, bro. It'll be alright. Now, this week's episode is definitely focused more around Obito, Kakashi, and kind of like Obito just explaining the madness, or trying to explain the madness of why he just went bonkers and is doing all of this stuff. Pretty much, again, a lot of it has to go back to the pain that he suffered. Like, I felt he just doesn't know what the fuck to say or how to explain it, because ultimately, while he's trying to explain it, he's basically going back to the root of it, because he's like, if you think it's about you and Rin, he's telling Kakashi, if you think it's about both of you guys while I'm doing this, then you're completely off the mark. Actually, you see, what happened is I already know that Rin died, and this is why I'm doing it. It's like, you just said the same thing. In essence, what Obito is trying to say basically is, I'm not doing this because of you guys. You guys are probably one of the things that sparked it, but it's just ultimately, I hate the fucking world. The world sucks ass, and that's why I'm doing it. Life is unfair, and I don't think it should be unfair. That's why I'm doing it. Plain and fucking simple. We didn't need the 5 to 10 minute flashback of Kakashi and Rin running and Obito saying that he knew all this stuff. We didn't need any of that. We just say, plain and simple, the world is fucking shit and unfair, and this is why I'm doing it. Plain and simple. We also got a bit of progression with the Ten Tails in this one. He's pretty much going ape shit because Obito lost control, and it looked like at the end of the episode he was about to transform again. So he's going to go from one ugly looking shit to yet again another ugly looking shit. Congratulations, Ten Tails. You become yet again another ugly looking shit. But seriously though, this episode did show that Obito was pretty fucking whacked out. Now, I think Kakashi was under a genjutsu when he did it. I'm not 100% sure, so it might not have actually happened. I can't even remember in the manga, to be honest with you. But when he basically stabs himself with Kakashi's Chidori, he just walks right into it, and he's like, see, I don't feel nothing. There's nothing here. Ultimately, Obito is just fucking whack jobbed out. Even if that is a genjutsu or if it's real or whatever, at the end of the day, he's just fucking crazy. It's like, what are you doing trying to replicate? Because he put it right where Rin was stabbed as well. And it's like, you're fucking bonkers, bro. Like, this episode definitely was displaying that. I feel, once again, that the anime is doing Obito's character a little bit more justice. First of all, I think his voice, now that I've gotten used to it, it fits him a little bit better, especially considering that to a certain degree, it almost feels as though Toby, the masked man, and Obito are two different people. So to have this voice and just kind of the sinister, like, pissed off attitude voice, I think it fits Obito, and it kind of adds a bit more to him than when you're looking at him in the manga and he's just constantly bitching. In the anime, it actually feels a little bit more like, okay, Obito's, he's fucking crazy. And I guess a lot of this episode goes back to, as well, some of the themes of Naruto in general, and how he's trying to, like, Obito's basically saying, Kakashi, join me. Kakashi's basically saying, no, I'm not going to join you, because it's kind of like who Obito is now versus who he used to be, because Kakashi kept on saying, I taught these things to Naruto. This is why Naruto's like this. You should go back to being like this. And he's like, no. And it's basically just like, I'm evil. He's like, you shouldn't be evil. You should be how you used to be. No, this world is shit. That's basically a lot of the conversation between the two of them. And again, out of all this, I feel as though one of the biggest victims is Kakashi. He fucking suffered his whole life thinking about the death of these two people, and this motherfucker's torturing him with it, and he's using it, trying to use it to his advantage to get Kakashi to go to his side. But at the end of the day, let's be realistic. Kakashi ain't gonna fucking say, you know what, you're right, Obito. So it's futile. But I definitely think that something needs to snap Kakashi out of it, because Kakashi, like, he had multiple opportunities to kill Obito and he didn't do it. And we've even seen this episode a couple episodes back, or a few episodes back, when his gut was in the other dimension. He could have stabbed him right there, Chidori, and bam, it would have been over. So definitely Kakashi needs to stop holding back, because had he not held back, we would have finished Obito a long time ago. But then again, there wouldn't be no story now, would there? And I felt this was a good episode. A little bit too much on the Rin stuff, especially, like, we got a flashback with her, we got a genjutsu of her and little Obito there. It was like, I think we understand for the most part, Rin's death is one of the big things that triggered Obito to do all these things. He just hates the world. He hates what he has to go through. He hates that people have to live shitty lives, and he's doing this. So a lot of the Rin stuff definitely felt like, okay, it's there. And it's like, sometimes the anime does this well, and this one it was just kind of like, okay, we fucking get it, Rin. But we also got a little bit of progression on the battlefield as well. You can see Naruto is just tired the fuck out. He can't keep giving everyone his chakra. I mean, at the end of the day, he's only so much of a goddamn battery, so you see that he's worn out as well, and Madara's just getting ready to do some crazy, sexy jutsu for when Hashirama shows up. So I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. good stuff for the most part. A little bit too much on the filler stuff. I know not all of it is filler, but a lot of the stuff with just Rin and everything, it was just like, I think we get it for the most part. And I think Obito could have explained himself a lot better than giving us this flashback and mentioning things that he's saying it has nothing to do with, and then ultimately saying, well, yeah, it has everything to do with them. It was like, just say the world is shit, period. Fuck the world. And also, I ain't gonna lie, I'm really looking forward to seeing all the Hokage, Sasuke, Orochimaru, and all of them show up on the battlefield. I was like, I thought it was gonna be this episode. I really can't wait to see them animated and them going at it and everything. Is like, fuck yeah. Hopefully next week. Let me know what you guys thought of this week's episode. Do you think there was a little bit too much on the Rin side? What do you think about Obito? Do you think that for any manga readers, do you think they did his character better in the anime than the manga? I feel, even though it still is a bit messy, because at the end of the day, there's no way you're going to make Obito like this incredible villain from manga to anime. Unless you just completely change many things, it's not going to happen. But I think it still feels a little bit better and a little bit more sinister and evil feeling, and it's not just like whiny in the anime than in the manga. The manga just felt like shut the fuck up. In the anime, it still feels like, yo, dog, you're crazy, just stop. But it's a little bit more genuine feeling as far as a villain goes. Then again, even Naruto just told him to shut up in this episode, so yeah. And just overall thoughts of the episode. I mean, that Madara rape face is enough to say, Hashirama, hurry up and come so Madara can come, pun intended. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, you can do so as well. That'd be awesome. I'm from the world, and as always, people, have an awesome day. Did anyone else catch that rape face of Madara the moment he found out that Hashirama's chakra was around? It was like, I was thinking to myself, calm down, bro. It'll be alright. Now, this week's episode was definitely focused more around Obito, Kakashi, and kind of like Obito just explaining the madness, or trying to explain the madness of why he just went bonkers and is doing all of this stuff. Pretty much, again, a lot of it has to go back to the pain that he suffered. Like, I felt he just doesn't know what the fuck to say or how to explain it, because ultimately, while he's trying to explain it, he's basically going back to the root of it, because he's like, if you think it's about you and Rin, he's telling Kakashi, if you think it's about both of you guys while I'm doing this, then you're completely off the mark. Actually, you see, what happened is, I already know that Rin died, and this is why I'm doing it. It's like, you just said the same thing. In essence, what Obito is trying